Hello, everyone. I'm Aiden.
I'm Evan.
And I'm Sam.
And this is the Lindgren podcast, named after Ryan Lindgren for the New York Rangers and Troy Lindgren for the Washington Capitals. I'm Evan, and my favorite team is the Washington Capitals.
Hence why we have the Lindgren podcast.
Yes.
I'm Sam. My favorite team is the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And I'm Aiden, and I like the New York Rangers.
Okay. So, first things first, let's talk about some of the teams we think are going to be good. Aiden, you want to start?
Obviously, I'm going to go New York Rangers. They have a good
Fair
goalie,
enough.
good enough offense, and they pretty much don't have any opposition coming from the East. So,
The opposition's a lot worse, definitely.
than it was last year.
Yeah. Bruins gonna take a step back, probably. I mean, and this isn't a big deal since he was a backup, but Linus Ullmark, he was a pretty good he's a very good backup. I also think their core is also pretty old. I mean, yeah, Marchand's getting up there. What's his name? Pasternak. He isn't old per se, but he also isn't young anymore, so he made it start declining a little bit. And overall, the team just has kind of been stagnating. I think not winning the Cup when they broke the record for most points in a single season is going to hurt them like crazy. I think they're going to never get back to that point of this core again. They probably won't even make it past the second round. Don't think they have the That was shown at the Panthers series last year. They weren't playing badly. They really didn't make many mistakes. The Panthers were just better. I think that's kind of represented what their season's going to be like. The East is just going to be better.
What about you, Sam? You got anything to say?
I don't really think any teams are going to do outstandingly better in particular. I think the Washington Capitals are going to be a little bit affected by Ovechkin's goal hunting. He's obviously going to try and break Gretzky's record.
And also, Oshie's out for the season, so.
And he might be a
Oshie is
little
out for the season.
puck hog.
Yeah.
He might not pass as much if he's going for the...
Yeah, he's going to pull an Austin Matthews. Anyways, one team, that's not a ton of teams that can take a huge step up. Red Wings should get better. Flyers should get better. Rangers, they're not going to. They probably won't be any better per se. The competition around them is going to get worse.
Really, what's going to be better? There's like really two people who are going to.
There's nothing really.
Be better
Yeah, but what do the Rangers do this off? What major things do the Rangers do this offseason? To be fair,
True.
I don't think they're not going to get better. The teams around them are going to get worse.
Yeah.
Anyways,
and
one team I think.
I mean, two people are probably going to get a little better. And Fox might get better.
Fox, Monero, I think they'll get better. Yeah.
Maybe, Shesterkin's not going to get any better. He's just like he's still going to. He's already very good, and I mean, it's not really. He doesn't really have a lot of room for improvement. He can improve the slightest bit, but he doesn't have as much room for improvement as say Quick does. Or
yeah.
So.
But then again, Quick's old. Anyways, one team I think, like I said, there's not that many teams that I think are going to be particularly better. I kind of agree with Sam on that part. Like I said, Red Wings better. Islanders maybe. No, I'm not really. Flyers. But the one team I think the team is going to take the biggest step up, per se. It's going to go like almost a cup contender. Maybe not a cup contender, but is the Nashville Predators. Last year they have a very good coach in Barry Trotz, and last year they competed with a very good Canucks team. They only lost because their offensive guy didn't know how to score. That's the thing, though. They kept most of their core. Philip Forsberg is still there. Ryan O'Reilly's still there. And Jussi Saros, despite what a lot of people expected, did not get traded. So he is still a Nashville Predator. I think he's pretty good. He's an underrated goalie. Not Pecorine quality, but still very good. And I think with the addition of Steven Stamkos, that's the offensive spark they need to get going. They're already a very good team, and with him, I think they'll be even better. Conference finals, second round, something like that. Maybe even cup finals. Probably not a cup finals. Don't think they're that good yet. Stamkos isn't truly elite in my opinion. Neither is O'Reilly. Neither is O'Reilly. Neither is Philip Forsberg. Neither is Jussi Saros. They're all very good. They're all like B pluses. But when they need that A, which they need somebody, they need a Draisaitl or a Panarin or a somebody to get going.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go into goalies. See who's gonna get better, worse, or maybe just stay the same.
I mean, we already talked about Jonathan Quick a little bit. He's definitely past his prime,
backup on the
Rangers.
Rangers.
He's getting older, but I think he's going to make a really good backup goalie.
Yeah, not a great starter. Kind of an starter.
Probably not going to be a starter.
He's definitely not going to be a starter.
Especially on the Rangers. If he has a better chance of being a starter on any other team but the Rangers because the Rangers already have a very good starter.
Not the Jets. Winnipeg Jets. Connor Hellebuck is the only reason the Jets were competitive. He would probably not be starting for Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Anyways,
he's definitely not going to start for Rangers.
Yeah, no.
Definitely not, because they have Shesterkin, and Shesterkin's probably going to.
Shesterkin's a top 2 goalie, and he might not even. He may be higher than that.
Yeah.
But
we saw Bobrovsky last year making a ton of huge saves in the playoffs, and I think that's really going to be something similar this year, assuming he doesn't get injured.
Yeah, I was thinking, so the Panthers. I think the offense is going to fall off a little bit for the Panthers. I think they're playing a little bit over their head. You had guys like Sam Bennett and, Vladimir Tarasenko playing over their heads, and I think they're definitely not, especially in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be able to keep that up. I think Ryan Hart will not score 50 goals again. I don't think Tkachuk is going to be as much of an offensive wizard as he was. I think Bobrovsky going to take a bit more of a load. I think it's actually going to help him in this case. I think he's going to, in my opinion, he's an early favorite for the Vezina.
And Sam, on the, goalies don't really get hurt as much as like an offensive or defensive player because they're not right there skating on the ice as much. They're just in the goal.
But if they do, there's only 2 of them.
Yeah, but even who's back? I don't care.
3. But.
I already mentioned. I think UC Solar is going to take a step up, so I think that they're going to have to rely less on him. He's not going to get as much of a beating.
All right, should we move into defense?
We don't really talk about defense. Though.
There's nothing really talking about defense.
Offensive players, and more specifically, as you might be able to tell, Alexander
Ovechkin. Yeah.
So
we're going to be doing a countdown for Alex Ovechkin to be breaking
Wayne Gretzky's
record.
Yeah.
Which he's got 42 to go, and I think
he's going to get it.
He might not be able to do it this year, but he probably will do it.
Yeah, I agree with that. The thing is, Ovechkin last year, right? He started off kind of like 9 goals, like. He went multiple games without scoring one. He had a record for most games straight without scoring a goal in his entire career. But that last half of the year, he exploded. He had multiple 2-goal games. He was scoring a goal all the time. And it's not like this competition were complete scrubs either. He had 2 goals against the Canes. He had 2 goals against Connor Hellebuck and the Jets. 2 goals against the Maple Leafs and Canucks. He did well.
But the older he gets, he might slow down a little bit more.
I do agree with that.
He has the potential to break the record, but
probably
won't do it this year.
I agree with that, yeah.
But we can see a little bit of the numbers for him to break it, go down a little bit.
He might get more like 25 goals instead of 31 this season.
Yeah, probably 30s or 20s range.
Something like that. Yeah, like low 30s, like the high 20s, maybe even low 20s.
Yeah.
I think he will get it by the end of next year, though.
I also think he doesn't get hurt or he might be out because wasn't he hurt last season?
No, I don't think so. He has not gotten hurt much in his career. He is very resilient, which I will say would probably help him. Also, he did lose Oshie, which will hurt him, but. He still has a decent bit of offensive talent around him. Carlson, even though I know he's a defenseman, John Carlson's still pretty good. Dylan Strome's taking a big step up, and he's pretty good. Wilson's still decent. I think they're going to start feeding him. McMichael's good. I think they're going to start feeding him the puck more because they know he's getting close, so they're going to want to, have him score.
All right.
So I think there's a high chance that he ends up getting basically force-fed the puck, especially if they're not in playoff contention. Like, they're 10, 15, 20 points back. It's like February, there's like a 2% chance to make the playoffs, if that. Mm-hmm. They're probably less concerned about winning than they would be, and more concerned about, having him break the record.
All right. Well, I think we got everything we needed done.
Cup predictions.
Oh, yeah, cup predictions.
You want to start out, Sam?
Eastern Conference, for the finals, I'm going to go with the New York Rangers.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
And then West, I think either Oilers or Avalanches.
West, it'd be probably Oilers or Avalanche. Both McDavid and McKinnon have been doing really well lately. I think McDavid's a little bit better, but McKinnon has a little bit better of a team to support him.
I will say this, though. I don't think that the Avalanche are still a very good team. They're definitely contenders, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I think they are starting to get a little bit past their expiration date, like the Lightning are. I think they are going to start, maybe not falling off a cliff, but they're definitely going to make the playoffs. Be amazed if they didn't. But I think they will not be quite as good. Yeah. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with some of the teams like the Stars and Oilers.
Yeah, because I think they've been doing like less and less well.
Yeah, they've gone a little bit worse every year.
Yeah,
They're
still pretty good.
Yeah, they won the Cup Finals and they made the Conference Finals after that. This past year they made the second round. I think this year they're going to get knocked down to first, and
or they could prove us wrong and they could do better.
Yeah, they could, but I don't think so.
As
though they did. The one thing is though, and I'm going to go to my prediction in a second. But they did get that. They're probably going to get their captain Gabriel Landeskog back, which is huge for them because he's been out forever, and that's been kind of hindering them. They probably would have made the Cup Finals in 2023 if he had him. Probably would have won it too. But yeah, my prediction personally, I have to agree with him. I think the Rangers are going to win. Yeah. I think most of the competition around them is going to get worse. Panthers are going to have to pay the Cup tax, and they're going to get worse. Bruins are kind of getting up there in age. Maple Leafs don't think
they're pretty much the same.
They do, but they don't have the depth to keep up with. They're not as old, but they don't have the depth. Their first and second line are amazing. After that is nothing. Rangers have a solid fourth line, so yeah.
They do get it. It's been like a while since they've won a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, and a lot of the East is mediocre. Penguins, Flyers, Red Wings, Capitals, Islanders. They're all Lightning. They're all kind of So I don't think they have.
Capitals a little bit.
I said the Capitals.
Not as much.
Yeah. So I think Rangers should be coming into this as favorites to win it. I know Panthers are the only real team in my opinion that can compete with the Rangers. I think we're gonna see a conference finals rematch from last year, Panthers Rangers. But I see Rangers in 6 instead of Panthers in 6 this time.
Yeah.
And for the West is I think a lot more deep. Avalanche, Avalanche, Knights, Stars, Oilers, Canucks. I mean, they're all very good.
Yeah, but they also got some bad teams there, too.
Yeah,
the Utah Hockey Club.
The Utah Hockey Club, Ducks and Sharks.
Sharks
are terrible.
Well, the thing about the Hockey Club is they're still, they've just moved from Arizona
Yeah, I think they need
Utah.
to work at the kinks and whatnot.
They still need to work on, their new place, where they are right now, and all
as
that.
a team, yeah.
And they still need to get into the groove of things, and then they might be able to bounce back, but last season they weren't as good, right? No, weren't really good.
They were... Yeah, they weren't. I won't say they were terrible. They weren't good. But I personally think the team that's going to make the Cup Finals is, all of them are contenders. Stars, Oilers, Canucks, every single one of them are contenders. But the one I think that is the most likely to make it is the Vegas Golden Knights. They won them a couple years ago. I know they only made the first round last year, but they played a loaded Stars team. The Stars were probably the most talented team in the league that year. If you talk about pure talent alone, their coach is terrible, but and they were able to keep all of them for a 7-game series on the road for more of the games. And they had a 2-0 lead at one point. I think they also were pretty banged up last year and kind of were on a skid near the end of the year. So I think this year, especially since the Stars losing Joe Pavelski, I think the Golden Knights are going to be the one to make the Cup Finals. I still think the Rangers are going to beat them because I think the Rangers have more depth. And I think they also are slightly younger. But
yeah,
Knights, in my opinion, was going to make it. Aiden.
Name predictions. Rangers, Oilers.
That's your prediction?
Yeah.
Okay, Rangers, Oilers for him. Okay, well, thank you for listening to our podcast. We appreciate every single one of you.
And please, we would really like it if you maybe put down your predictions or anything you would like to say in the comment section. All right, and we would enjoy if your predictions and stuff.
Okay, thanks for watching. Appreciate everything you want to. Hope we want to check this out again. Goodbye.